so I just want to thank you for coming in today. So, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. You know, just getting through the week.
Mm-hmm.
Just started football training camp and everything. Just moving back into Greensburg, trying to get resettled. You know, trying to first time living off campus as a grad student, so trying to just figure out like money management skills and everything. You know, just trying to get used to the off campus life and still balance school.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, if I heard, correct me if I'm wrong. So, it sounds like you just got back to Greensburg. Football's about to start. You know, you just moved off campus for the first time. You're trying to really get the hang of just money management and how to balance your time with things.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, being that I thought I was gonna graduate, go back home to Maryland, but I had the opportunity to come back and finish my last year of school. Well, my last year of football and do my MBA and everything at school. So yeah, coming back to Greensburg is kind of like just a shocker, but you know, gotta do what I gotta do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, when you said come back to Greensburg, you said it's a shocker. Why is it a shocker for you?
You know, it's different than the city life. You know, growing up in Maryland, growing up in DC, everything's faster. Just coming back to Greensburg from being home all summer, things just way slower. But I mean, you have more time to think and stuff, and just get caught up in your thoughts instead of just always being on the go. As opposed to being back home, there's always something to do, always being on the go. But I also think it's good that I am back in Greensburg because it helps control. It helps you with training your thoughts and controlling like what you think. Like my mom, she always talks about how when you don't have much to do, your mind is just blank and you just always thinking. It's not good to have a idle mind. So yeah.
Yeah, I definitely understand. So, like on one side, you know, where you're from, everything's fast paced. It's like you said, there's more stuff to do. You know, it's never a dull moment. But when you come to Greensburg, it's like you're bored out of your mind and you're trying to figure out how you're gonna spend your time almost.
Yeah, pretty much. I would say, you know, if it wasn't for football, I don't really know what I'd be doing out here, other than like school and then working. So it's just like two different lifestyles you gotta adapt to. But yeah.
So, yeah, you said other than football, so it sounds like football is something that's really important to you.
Yeah, you know, it's paid the bills. It's what helped me get through school. Feel me? What's helping me get through my MBA. It's been good to me, so I have to return the favor.
So for you, football is almost like a stepping stone, like something you're using to get to where you really want to get.
I would kind of say football is where I really want to get. That's why that's one of the main reasons I'm back for the NBA. I mean, the NBA is great to have, but right now I'm just chasing a goal, chasing a dream. So I feel like this is the right place for me to be right now, as far as football goes. As far as schooling goes, also though, because I wasn't able to like get in for the NBA programs a lot of places, but I mean, I got in here, so I feel as though it's a good thing.
So it almost sounds like you get the best of both worlds here. You get to play football, and then on top of that, you get to work on your studies.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
All right. So you said the ultimate goal. So what is your ultimate goal?
So I mean, right now my ultimate goal is to at least get a training camp signing after the season comes up. You know, hire an agent and everything. Try to get a couple pro days in. Then after get a couple pro days, try to have a good season. You know, go to the next level up. So it's the main goal right now.
That definitely sounds like a good plan. Yeah. So what would that mean for you?
I mean everything actually, like you know, just from high school to college to going to the league is just a major step. But not even just the money, just knowing that something that you've been working your whole life for, that you finally accomplished. With certain people, whether that's being a business owner, whether that's having like your own house, whether it's having your own cars or whatever, like something that you worked hard for in a certain period of time that you finally achieved. I feel like that's a great thing to hone in on. So for me, being able to make it to the NFL would be everything.
So it's basically like affirming all your hard work, like everything you've done since you picked up the football helmet, like getting to the NFL would be that's all your hard work, like the sign that all your hard work's paying off.
Yeah. So that's why I want to go with that as far as that goes.
All right. So what if you don't go to the NFL?
So if I don't go to the NFL, I'm planning on using my undergrad, which is business administration, entrepreneurial studies, to kind of follow my mom's footsteps as far as opening my own franchise of upscale barbershops through the DMV area, the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. And I plan on using my MBA, which is in management. I want to do consulting, bank to bank, company to company. Just being able to finalize contracts and everything, be able to have the final say, get the best pricing for a company or the best pricing for a bank, and be able to get a good percentage off of it. Also want to just be able to manage my own companies, because owning my own franchise of salons and barbershops is not the only thing I want to do. I want to start my own chain of like indoor sports arenas and stuff, indoor sports plexes type things, like gyms and everything, 24/7 gyms that's like not just for weightlifting, but 24/7 basketball courts, 24/7 football fields, fields that's available to both football and soccer, because you got a lot of indoor facilities that's only open to soccer, or fields that doesn't allow you to wear certain cleats. So stuff that's more valuable to my community, and by my community I mean the African American community, like stuff that just tries to keep the youth involved all the time.
Yeah, well, that definitely sounds like that's something that you really enjoy, because I like the energy when you started talking about that. Like I can feel the fire in you when you started speaking on that. I just want to go back to what you said. You said you want to open up a couple of barbershops. So do you cut now?
So right now, past semesters, undergrad, I did cut. I kind of slowed down on it. I wouldn't say I lost passion for it, but it's just not at the forefront of my mind right now. I just got other things I'm worried about. But as far as owning my own shop and everything, like that's always been a dream of mine, passion of mine, because I just have a very like artistic mind, I would say. So stuff like that is what I aspire to do, and then just seeing people who come out of school or come out of incarceration that they might not know where they want to go in life, or they might not have nowhere else to go to life due to incarceration. A lot of people come out and they have the skill of barbering, and that's a great way to come in. And I want to not just be able to have it where they come in and be a barber, but also be able to have it where they have benefits as a barber, because hairstylists and barbers don't have benefits. They just work off of whatever they made within those years.
So it sounds like, correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like you did cut, so you have experience cutting, but just because you've been so preoccupied with trying to play football and trying to get everything together, that you just haven't been doing it recently, but it's still something you still can do.
For sure.
Okay. So is there anything else that you've been thinking about recently, like with this upcoming football season?
Just like I said, just staying mentally focused, I would say. Mentally aware of what's going on around you, mentally aware of the attacks that's trying to be like put on you. Being a football player, being a student athlete in general, you're already gonna go through a lot. Whether you're a student in the classroom, you're gonna go through a lot as a student around campus. You're gonna go through a lot as a student on the field. So just being able to balance out time for yourself, time for God, and then time for football. I feel like those are the major things I have to do, because like I said, whenever you just allow your mind to be free, certain things can attack you or try to attack you. So you just gotta always know when to block out.
Yeah, it sounds good. It sounds like it's good for you. It sounds like you really got everything planned out and everything set up. You said you want to be mentally strong. Has that been something that's been a problem for you in the past?
I wouldn't say a problem. I would just say like, when I say like a problem, because I always knew how to, I would say, deal with it. But it was, I take that back. It was a problem when I first thought I was done with football, before I got accepted into the NBA program. It's kind of hard when you've been doing something for like the past 10 years, and then it's just like out of nowhere, it's cut off, it stops. So it's like, mentally tough. It's just like, you got to be able to know that if one thing doesn't work out, that's not the end of the road for you. Or if you you're going through something, like, you just have to be able to fight through it. Like, when everything seems good and your mind starts trying to pull on you and make things seem like something's going wrong in your life, you have to know that, for me, I'm very religious, so for me, I just believe that's the devil's way of being mad and trying to flip something, but you got to be able to fight that. So that's why I say, like, just being mentally tough. Because, like, thoughts will come upon my mind that I just know is not true, or, like, I just feel certain ways I might feel down, but I just know it's not.
Okay, so that's not something you say you really struggle with, but it's something you're aware that can happen.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so, give me a second. You said something else. So, now, when you said it was a problem a little bit when you first started playing football. Like, that's definitely understandable because, like you said, you was doing something for the majority of your life, and you just kind of had it taken away from you from, not on your own accord. So, how did you deal with that?
At first I dealt with it bad, like dabbing in like drugs and alcohol. Not like heavy drugs, but like weed and stuff. But then it was like, all right, I had to refine myself, kind of like understand. But I was starting to turn into somebody that I wasn't. You feel me? Just like always wanting to party, always wanting to have a good time. But then when I actually sat down and realized what it was just me escaping from the thoughts, trying to escape from the thoughts that, okay, I have to enter the real world now, and I have to look for a job. I have to get my degree and go on and be a regular person. So it was like me trying to relive those last 4 years of my college life that was kind of, in a sense, taken away from me due to football and just constantly working out all the time. I was trying to relive that in the semester, so I would say I kind of just fell off the edge until I refound myself and came back to a standstill.
Yeah, so like you said, you were using that basically to escape. So that was kind of like your way of coping with it and kind of dealing with the anger and the sadness of losing something you love. So this time around, what would you change? Like, what can you do this time around to avoid falling back? Like, say something happened, like you had a freak injury or something. What can you do to avoid falling back into that same path that you took previously?
I would say just staying around it, keep being around it. Like, I got mad at the game when I was done. Like, I didn't want nothing to do with the coaches, nothing to do with my teammates, nothing to do with football. I didn't want to touch football or be around it. Like, what kind of got me back on the right path was towards the end of the semester, I started, like, training teammates, working out the younger guys, working out guys from other schools, just being around. Because at the end of the day, you still love the game. So never just, like, if it's your time, it's done on the field, don't abandon the people that's coming up next. So that's what I would say. Just continue to push forward with that.
So it sounds to me kind of like you were avoiding the game just because it brought back that reality that I can't do this anymore.
That was what it was. I didn't want to watch football. I didn't want to play around like nothing. So just wanted to be a regular person. But deep down inside, I knew that's not what I wanted or who I was. So
yeah, so it almost felt like you didn't feel like yourself. You were just like. You're just doing things just to try to, stay away from, to keep yourself out of that mind frame about the sport.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it sounds like, like you definitely learn from it because one thing about the past is, you can't change it.
Right.
You got it tomorrow. So it definitely sounds like you learn from your mistakes and, that this time, God forbid, but this time around, that you got your head on straight and you know what steps to take in order to keep your mind on the straight path.
Yeah.
So, with the MBA program, how long is that?
So it's a year, and I'll be done in August.
So, is that like, well, that's the MBA is business, right?
Yeah, MBA in management, business management. So I'll start next week, and I should be done around this time of August 2019. So
how you feeling about that?
It'd be a big accomplishment, not just for me, but for my mom also. Like, the majority of the stuff I do is for my mother. So, it'll be a big accomplishment for both of us, you know, just being the only child on my father's side to go to college, graduate, already got my degree. Now to be able to have an MBA, that would be outstanding. So, there's just a lot of goals I have. If I get to be in the league, I'm still going to try to finish my MBA. So, it's just like, to be able to be in the NFL and have my MBA, it's like the best of both worlds, for real.
I noticed that you brought up your mom a lot. It sounds to me like that's like a big motivating factor for you. Like, all right, so yeah, you know, we winding down on time. So, is there anything else that you want to talk about before we leave today?
Not really. You know, kind of feel like I covered the main topics that have been on my mind for this week.
All right, well, I just want to thank you, you know, for helping me out with this, and hope you have a good week at practice.
Appreciate it.